Princess Poppy, Puppy Love. Here we've got the map of their village, post office, village hall, honeypot cottage, school, and all the characters. Hi, Poppy, called Honey as she walked up the garden path to Honeysuckle Cottage. I'm so excited about seeing the puppies at Barley Farm. Me too, replied Poppy. Let's go. This is going to be the best summer holiday ever, exclaimed Poppy. She adored puppies and had wanted one for ages. We'll be able to play with them every day. They found Mrs. Meadowsweet in the cozy farmhouse kitchen. Duchess, the sheepdog, was curled up with her 10 new puppies. Oh, chorused the girls, they're gorgeous. Poppy and Honey visited the puppies every day after that. Playtime, nap time, tea time. Chaos in the farmyard. My favorite. First sleeper. Growing up fast. All 10 puppies were cute, but there was one that Poppy particularly loved. She was the smallest one and always bounded up to Poppy and nuzzled into her as soon as she saw her. Poppy named her Jasmine and secretly hoped that one day she would be hers. I wish I could have Jasmine, said Poppy as she and Honey walked home one afternoon. That would be amazing, replied Honey. You should ask your parents. I know they'll say no, like they did when I asked if I could have a puppy before. They'll say I've got enough pets and that a puppy is too much work, said Poppy glumly. If you don't ask, you'll never know, answered Honey. But Poppy couldn't bear to be disappointed again. The next day Poppy and Honey went to Barley Farm as usual. They arrived to find Mrs. Meadowsweet making for sale adverts for the puppies. It's time for them to go to new families, she explained. Will you help me and then put them up around the village? Poppy could think of nothing worse. She hated the idea of her beloved Jasmine being sold to another family, but she reluctantly agreed. When the adverts were finished, the girls set off to put them up. Poppy was very quiet indeed. What's wrong? Honey asked. I'm worried that another family is going to buy Jasmine and I'll never see her again, admitted Poppy tearfully. Just ask your mom and dad if you can have her, said Honey. If you don't try, you'll never know. You have to do it. Poppy waited until supper time. Mom, Dad, she began. You know the puppies? Well, Mrs. Meadowsweet is selling them and I wondered whether I could have one. Mum and Dad looked at one another. We've been through this before, said Mum. I'm sorry, darling, but the answer is no. You have 3 pets already, hardly any spare time, not to mention the expense and hard work involved in having a dog. Poppy didn't argue. The next day, when Poppy and Honey arrived at Barley Farm, the kitchen was full of people petting the puppies. When everyone finally left, Mrs. Meadowsweet noticed that Poppy wasn't her usual self and asked her what the matter was. I asked if Mum and Dad would buy Jasmine, but they said no, and now she'll go to another family, sobbed Poppy. Why don't you take her for a trial day, suggested Mrs. Meadowsweet. That might just change their minds. Poppy ran home to ask right away. Mum and Dad went into the sitting room to discuss it. Poppy waited nervously in the kitchen. We've decided that one day can't hurt, said Dad when they came back after what seemed like ages. Bring her here tomorrow and we'll see, continued Mum. No promises, though. Yippee! Cried Poppy. I know you love her. Poppy and Honey went to collect the puppy early the next morning. "Please be good, Jasmine," Poppy whispered into the lively little pup's ear as they arrived home. As soon as Poppy, Honey, and Jasmine walked through the front door, despite Poppy's best efforts, everything descended into chaos. Jasmine's waggy tail knocked over a vase. She frightened poor Flossie with her barking, destroyed one of Mum's slippers, and then caused trouble in the garden when she started digging up the flowers. Just when Poppy thought things couldn't get any worse, Jasmine dashed back into the house through the kitchen, the hall, and the sitting room, and into Poppy's bedroom. "Jasmine, come back, you naughty girl," called Poppy. "Oh, no," said Honey when she finally caught up with her. "Look what she's done." Poppy came over to where Honey was and noticed a little puddle on the floor in the corner of her bedroom. "Quick, pass me the tissues," said Poppy. "We need to clear this up. I'll never be allowed to keep her if Mum and Dad find out." When Mrs. Meadowsweet came to collect Jasmine that afternoon, Poppy could hardly bear to say goodbye. She was quite sure that Mum and Dad would never agree to keep the puppy now. She gave Jasmine one last hug. Poppy felt very sad. All her dreams of having a puppy were shattered. She went to bed that night feeling very sorry for herself. But the next morning Poppy woke up with a start. It was Jasmine jumping on her bed. At first Poppy thought she must be dreaming, but she knew it was real when she saw Mum and Dad. "Surprise!" they chorused. "Wow!" gasped Poppy. "Can I really keep her?" "So long as she stays away from slippers, vases, and flowers, and you clear up all her little accidents," laughed Dad. "You've impressed us with the way you've looked after Jasmine. You're such a devoted little princess," explained Mum. "And she's adorable. How could we let her go to another family?" "Thank you," smiled Poppy. She felt like the luckiest princess in the world.